So this is a Swift Lifestyle 6EW. I'm going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van, you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. In the front locker, you have your 2 gas bottle tie downs, where you can mount your 2 6kg propane gas bottles, and on the bulkhead you have your gas regulator itself. We do have the gas pipe work available here on site should you need to purchase any. Coming down the side of the caravan, you've got your heating and hot water flue. Heating and hot water flue is very simply there to allow the heating system to breathe, very much like the flue on the side of your house. Then below that, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. You'd wind these legs to the ground, touch them on the ground, rather than lifting the caravan. If you lifted the caravan with these, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan itself. Water pump connection. Blue trigger at the back here, pull it back and release it out the side of the caravan and push it into place and lock it in, and then you connect, put the blue tab in place to lock the pickup pipe in place. The act roll needs the pickup pipe down inside of it, so you need to make sure the pickup is fully submerged in water prior to turning the water pump on. If you don't do this, then it can draw air up into the water system on board the van. Going further down the side of the van, you've got your wheels. So we'll torque the wheel nuts prior to you leaving sight with the caravan, so you can see they've been tightened correctly, and we'll also demonstrate the motor mover and show you how this operates. 2 grey pipes coming out the side of the van. You open the flaps that pull down here. You have 2 bits of pipe work that go into these larger diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. The back of the van, you open this up and you have your toilet flush tank. You'll put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Then in the bottom you have your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling out the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and sputter back at you. On either side at the rear of the van, again, you've got your 2 wind down legs. Storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear of the caravan. 2 fridge vents coming out the side of the van. 2 fridge vents are very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. Now, as you're coming down the side of the van, you've got a 230-volt socket, so you can have power coming out to your awning. You've then got your battery with your connections on top. You've got your mains power lead coming into the side of the van, which connects to the power on site, and your barbecue gas point at the front. Coming onto the inside of the caravan now. Above the door, you've got your main power switch, so you turn the power on. So at the top here, you've got an indicator to say you've got main 12-volt power on the caravan. Now in a moment, once I've turned on the 240-volt power on the wall outside the van, then you'll have a green light that appears here and a green light on the caravan. So as you can see, you've now got when I press the view levels button here, it'll bring up the dot on the power supply coming to the caravan and the power supply coming into the van. Then got your battery voltage. As I said, I'll put a battery on here just to demonstrate everything is working. Got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment, your view levels button, and then your vehicle battery voltage on the right hand side. So this is when you're towing essentially. When you are towing, you'll have a red light or an orange light on the car and a green light on the caravan. Next thing we'd advise you do is get the water system ready to fill. So just down the front of the van, in the front corner here, you will see your water tank. Now to the left hand side here, you've got your water drain down valve. This yellow valve needs to be flat with the floor as it is at the moment to fill the water system up. If it's upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat, it means you can drain the water system down when the caravan's not in use. Like I said, when it's flat with the floor, that is the position you need to fill the water system up. Once that yellow valve is flat with the floor, you come over to every tap on board the caravan and open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system. You'll then come back to the control panel above the door and hit the water pump button. Once that water pump button is pressed, the water system will start filling up. Now when you put the caravan away for winter storage, do advise that you drain the caravan down completely. Now I would actually advise to drain it down after each use of the caravan. That's entirely up to yourself. To do that, you'd open all the taps up in the central position between the hot and the cold, open all the taps completely, and then open the yellow valve below the seat. Once that water system's full, you can shut all of the taps back off, and that is your water system filled and ready to be heated on board the van. So above the door, you have the control panel for the heating and hot water. Now, when you initially turn the caravan on, this should be turned off. So you always before you turn off the main power, you always hit the central button here and make sure it says off on the screen. And once the screen goes completely blank, you can then turn off the main control panel above the door. Turn this on, hit the central button, and it will come on. The first icon you see is the room temperature. You hit the button and use the dial right to left to set the room temperature. To set the room temperature, you hit the central button here, and it will allow the heating to start kicking in. Turn that off for now. Next up, you have your water temperature. Hit the central button again, and then you've got 40, 60, or boost. So depending on what you're doing with the caravan, if you want it to shower, you'd have it on boost, for instance. If you want the water to be hot, you can have it on 60 or 40 degrees. To have the water heating off, you have it on the off position just here. Next set of symbols you see is the power supply you want to use for your heating and hot water system. So you've got gas, which is gas on its own. Mix 1, which is 1000 watts of electric and gas at the same time. Mix 2, which is 2000 watts of electric and gas at the same time. Electric 1, which is 1000 watts of electric on its own. And electric 2, 2000 watts of electric on its own. So you'll select the correct power source, what you want to use. And then the heating and hot water will start operating on each of those power sources, depending on what you've selected. Now I've selected the 1000 watts, but if you selected the gas, for instance, and it failed to ignite, you get a warning triangle at the bottom of the screen here and a gas fail symbol on the screen. On the end here, you've got your blown air option. So at the moment, it's turned off. Spin the dial to the right once you go into it. Press the button in on the vent. Then you can select your fan speed. And when it's off, you can actually use this as a cool air fan. So that'll kick in and start blowing cool air around the caravan. At the bottom of the screen here, you have got some advanced options. For these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan and understand these completely before trying to operate them. If you don't, then potentially it can turn off the control panel or turn off the power supplies in the background, and your heating and hot water will not work. Hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances, the same as the microwave. So you don't really need to worry about them too much. You just need to remember, if you've got no 240 mains coming into the caravan, then the microwave will not operate. You will also need to make sure before you travel that you remove the microwave plate from inside of it, as if you leave it in there, it could potentially pop the door open as you're travelling down the road and drop out onto your cabinet or hit the floor, etc., and just in general do some damage to the caravan. Turn the fridge on. You've got a power button on the left hand side here, so press the button and it will wake up. At the moment it's trying to ignite on gas. Now if it fails to ignite on gas, it will actually start flashing this symbol here, and it will start flashing the temperature control on the right hand side. To change power supply, you hit the grey button on the fridge itself, so the symbol starts flashing here, and you can use the arrows left or right to select the next power source. So you've got 12 volt mode. The 12 volt mode is when you're travelling down the road. So essentially, once you've got the caravan connected to the car, you can turn the main control panel off above the door, come to the fridge, turn the power on. So as you can see, it's now failed to ignite on gas, and it's flashing the red warning light here also. So to select the 12 volt mode, you hit the grey button, and then you can use your arrows left or right to control the fridge temperature on the 12 volt mode. You hit the grey button again to select that. Now one thing you need to remember is if the 12 volt mode doesn't see any power, it's going to flash away as it does now. And it will depend if you have the right connection on your car to whether this operates correctly. To use 240 mode, you'll come across to the plug symbol, press the grey button again, then use the arrows left or right to control the fridge temperature, and hit the grey button to select the power source. The fridge then will operate on the 12 volt mode, 240 volt mode, and you'll get a green light appear here, and this will be the same for any of the power sources if they are connected and working, whether it be the gas or the 12 volt. Coming through into the bathroom now, we have the toilet system itself. So you have the electric flush on top of the toilet here. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, should you wish to be more comfortable, shall we say. You'll get a red light appear on the top here, should the toilet waste cassette be completely full. Then below the toilet you'll actually see your grey waste handle. You need to push this into the open position to allow the toilet waste into the cassette underneath the van, and into the closed position when you're not using the toilet. You'll also need this flap in the central position if you're trying to remove the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan. So this is the Swift Lifestyle 6EW. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon again. Bye bye.